Imagine holding in your hand a single penny that could change your life forever. A coin so small in size, yet capable of commanding prices in the thousands, even millions, if you are lucky enough to find the right variety. The Lincoln 1976 1-cent coin, often overlooked as just another ordinary penny, hides secrets that can make collectors and treasure hunters stop in their tracks. To the untrained eye, it's just a coin used in everyday transactions during the bicentennial year of the United States. But to those who know its value, it represents history, rarity, and untapped fortune that could be hiding right inside your pocket change. The year 1976 was a historic time in the United States. It marked the 200th anniversary of the nation's independence, and the entire country was alive with celebrations, parades, and patriotic pride. While the quarter was given a special bicentennial design to mark this milestone, the Lincoln penny continued with its familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. At first glance, there was nothing unusual about the 1976 cent, but as with many coins in American history, the details, the errors, and the minting process gave birth to varieties that turned this simple cent into a collector's dream. Millions of pennies were struck in 1976 at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, while the Denver mint produced cents marked with a small d below the date. In ordinary circulated condition, these coins are worth just a cent. But in mint state, or with rare errors, they can command astonishing prices at auctions. Collectors today hunt tirelessly for these hidden treasures, often unaware that the key to unlocking wealth could be a coin they once dismissed as common pocket change. One of the most talked about features of the 1976 Lincoln penny is its minting quality. High-grade examples, especially those graded MS-67 or MS-68 by professional grading services, are extremely scarce. The reason is simple. Millions of pennies entered circulation, getting scratched, worn, and damaged in the process. Finding one in pristine condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. When one does appear, collectors bid fiercely, pushing prices into the thousands of dollars. Some even speculate that in the rarest grade, a 1976 penny could break into six-figure territory, making it one of the most desirable modern-era Lincoln cents. But beyond condition, error coins are what truly excite collectors. In 1976, as with many years, mistakes at the mint led to some remarkable varieties. Off-center strikes are among the most popular. Imagine a penny where Lincoln's head is partially missing because the blank was struck off-center. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin. Some 1976 pennies with major off-center strikes have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Then there are double-die varieties, where the details of the coin appear doubled due to misalignment during the minting process. A clear doubling on the date or Lincoln's profile can transform an ordinary cent into a prized collectible. Another highly sought-after error is the clipped plancate. In these cases, part of the coin's edge is missing because the blank metal sheet was improperly cut. These unusual coins stand out immediately and are always popular with collectors. Similarly, broad strikes where the coin was struck without the retaining collar give the penny a wider and distorted appearance. All of these variations make the 1976 penny much more than just a cent. It becomes a rare artifact valued not only for its mistake but also for its place in numismatic history. What adds even more intrigue to the 1976 Lincoln penny is its symbolic connection to the nation's bicentennial. Although the design itself did not change, every coin minted that year represents a time when the United States celebrated 200 years of independence. Collectors love coins tied to historic events, and the 1976 penny carries that aura of patriotism and history. For this reason, sets of uncirculated 1976 coins are also highly valued, especially when still sealed in original U.S. mint packaging. Some collectors even hoard rolls and bags of 1976 cents, hoping to discover a rare gem hiding among them. Now let's talk numbers. In circulated condition, most 1976 Lincoln cents are worth only their face value. However, if you stumble upon one in uncirculated condition, especially in grades MS-65 and above, its value begins to rise significantly. A 1976 penny graded MS-67 can easily fetch hundreds of dollars, while an MS-68 example can skyrocket into the thousands. And when error coins enter the equation, the numbers climb even higher. Rare double-die or dramatic off-center errors can bring anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 depending on the severity and demand. Some of the rarest varieties could even push into six-figure territory if the right buyer comes along. The most incredible aspect of the 1976 penny story is that these treasures are still out there. Unlike rare gold coins locked away in museums or private collections, millions of Lincoln cents continue to circulate across the country. This means that anyone, anywhere could unknowingly be holding a small fortune in their hand. Every time you come across a penny dated 1976, you should take a closer look. Check for errors, inspect the quality, and if you suspect it could be special, consider having it graded. That single cent could turn into a down payment for a house, a new car, or even life-changing wealth. It's important to remember that coin collecting is not just about monetary value, it's also about history and the thrill of discovery. The Lincoln penny itself carries a powerful legacy, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and over a century later, it remains one of the most beloved designs in American numismatics. The 1976 cent continues that tradition, representing not just Lincoln, but also the enduring spirit of a nation celebrating its bicentennial. For those new to collecting, the 1976 penny is an excellent place to start. It's accessible, easy to find, and offers the possibility of discovering rare varieties. Collectors often advise beginners to start by checking their change, especially pennies from the 1970s and 1980s, since many valuable varieties come from this era. With patience, a keen eye, and a little luck, anyone could uncover a rare 1976 penny worth far more than a cent. The story of the Lincoln 1976 penny is one of hidden potential. It teaches us not to overlook the small things, because sometimes the smallest items hold the greatest value. Whether it's an uncirculated gem, a dramatic mint error, or a high-grade rarity, the 1976 penny continues to captivate collectors with its possibilities. And as long as people keep searching, its legend will only grow stronger. So the next time you find a penny in your pocket or lying on the ground, don't dismiss it as worthless. That small piece of copper could be your key to fortune. The 1976 Lincoln penny proves that hidden treasures still exist, waiting to be discovered by those bold enough to look closely. A $1 million coin may not always look like gold or silver. It might just look like a simple, ordinary penny. But in the world of coin collecting, ordinary can turn into extraordinary in an instant.
Imagine holding a coin in your hand that looks so ordinary, so simple, that most people would never give it a second glance. Yet what if I told you that this small piece of copper, a Lincoln 1975 1-cent coin, could be worth thousands or even millions depending on its condition, rarity, and hidden details? That's right, something you might think of as just a penny could actually hold the power to change your financial life. Collectors from around the world are constantly searching for these rare and valuable coins, and the 1975 Lincoln cent is one of those mysterious treasures that keeps surfacing in the world of numismatics. Within the next few minutes, you're going to discover why this penny is far more than just pocket change. The Lincoln cent has been an iconic part of American currency since 1909, when it was first minted to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. For decades, the design has remained almost unchanged on the obverse, showing the proud profile of Lincoln's face. By 1975, the penny was already a well-recognized piece of currency, but hidden within this year's mintage are stories of rarity, errors, and values that go beyond imagination. While billions were minted, it is the rare errors, unique conditions, and limited variations that have turned this common coin into a legendary find for collectors. Most 1975 pennies were struck in the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Philadelphia coins do not carry a mint mark, while Denver coins bear the D mark just below the date. While that may sound like a simple detail, it makes all the difference when it comes to value. Certain minting errors involving the mint mark, the strike quality, or even the die used to create the coin can turn an ordinary cent into a jackpot discovery. For example, some pennies come with doubled dies, where the inscriptions or dates appear doubled because of a mistake in the minting process. A clear doubled die on the date or on Lincoln's profile can catapult the value from a single cent into thousands of dollars at auction. Another crucial factor that separates an average penny from a priceless collectible is its condition. Collectors and grading services like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or the Numismatic Guarantee Company (NGC) carefully evaluate every detail of a coin. A Lincoln 1975 cent found in pristine, uncirculated condition can already fetch a hefty price, but if it achieves a grade of MS67 or MS68, meaning nearly flawless surfaces, sharp strikes, and brilliant luster, it can sell for staggering amounts. Some examples in top condition have crossed into five-figure territory, and with demand constantly increasing, the potential for even higher prices grows stronger. But what makes the 1975 penny truly fascinating is the aura of mystery surrounding certain rare variations. There are stories of transitional errors where coins may have been struck using different metal compositions during the switch from bronze to copper-plated zinc, which officially began in 1982. A handful of test strikes or experimental pieces are rumored to exist from earlier years, including 1975. If such a transitional coin were authenticated, it could be valued in the millions, just as other rare transitional cents have shocked the numismatic world with their auction prices. Even without these ultra-rare variations, the 1975 Lincoln cent continues to be a coin worth searching for in circulation. Many collectors overlook it, focusing on earlier wheat cents or the famous 1909 cess VDB. Yet those who know the deeper stories of American coinage understand that modern coins can be just as valuable, if not more so, due to unique minting circumstances and sheer collector demand.
It is precisely this combination of hidden rarity and overlooked potential that makes the 1975 penny a dream find for treasure hunters. Consider this. A coin you may find in your spare change today could be the same one that a collector has been desperately searching for, willing to pay thousands just to add it to their collection. That is the true magic of the Lincoln 1975 cent. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Stories of people discovering rare double-die pennies in old jars, desk drawers, or inherited coin boxes are not just myths, they are real events that have taken average families by surprise with unexpected wealth. The allure of the Lincoln penny is not just about money, though. It's about history. Each coin carries with it a story of America in 1975, a year of political change, economic struggle, and cultural evolution. Holding one is like holding a tiny piece of that history. And when you realize that some of these pennies are not only historical artifacts but also financial jackpots, the value goes far beyond their face value. Collectors aren't just buying metal, they're buying a piece of history, a piece of art, and a piece of mystery that connects them to the past. For those who are serious about finding these treasures, the best strategy is education and careful searching. Learn to recognize the signs of a doubled die, a repunched mint mark, or unusual coloring that might signal a rare variation. Keep your eyes open when going through change, coin rolls, or even estate sales where old coin collections may surface. Most people have no idea that their jars of old pennies may contain a 1975 cent worth thousands. That ignorance is your opportunity. Now imagine this, you're sitting at an auction, and a simple Lincoln 1975 penny comes up for sale. The bidding starts low, but then the numbers rise. $500, $1,000, and the crowd is buzzing with excitement. Why? Because the coin has a flawless strike, shimmering surfaces, and perhaps even a unique error. By the end of the auction, that single cent has sold for a life-changing sum. Stories like these are not rare. They happen every year as collectors continue to chase down the rarest and finest examples of America's most famous coin. So the next time you come across a penny from 1975, don't dismiss it as ordinary. Look closer. Study its date, its mint mark, its details. You never know when you might be holding a fortune disguised as a cent. The Lincoln penny has already proven itself to be one of the most powerful coins in U.S. history, and the 1975 issue is no exception. Whether it's through rare errors, flawless condition, or even rumored transitional strikes, this coin carries the potential for life-changing value. A penny may be the smallest denomination of American currency, but when it comes to the Lincoln 1975 cent, it can become one of the largest opportunities for wealth. Millions of people handle coins every day without realizing what they are holding, and yet one lucky discovery could rewrite their financial future. That's the thrill of coin collecting and treasure hunting, the chance to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. So keep searching, keep learning, and never underestimate the power of a simple penny, because sometimes the smallest coin carries the biggest fortune, and the Lincoln 1975 1-cent coin just might be the hidden treasure waiting for you to discover.
Imagine holding a single penny in your hand. A coin so ordinary that most people wouldn't think twice before tossing it into a jar or leaving it on the ground. But what if I told you that a simple 1977 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin you might overlook, could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars to the right collector? Yes, this little piece of copper, something you might have in your pocket right now, could secretly hold the power to change your life. That is the magic of coin collecting, where history, rarity, and human fascination all come together to transform a penny into a priceless treasure. The 1977 Lincoln cent is one of the many coins in the long-running Lincoln penny series. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the design by Victor David Brenner has become iconic, with Lincoln's profile facing right on the obverse, a departure from traditional coin designs of past presidents. The reverse, at that time, featured the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was introduced in 1959 to replace the original wheat ears. While the 1977 penny may appear like just another coin minted in the millions, its value lies not in the sheer numbers struck, but in the rare variations, errors, and conditions that exist among them. In 1977, the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced hundreds of millions of these coins. Philadelphia struck coins without a mint mark, while Denver's issues carry the small D beneath the year. The San Francisco Mint also struck proof coins with an S mint mark, designed specifically for collectors. Under ordinary circumstances, these coins are worth face value in circulation. But in pristine condition, and especially in cases of rare errors, they can be worth far more. Collectors often prize coins in high grades, those preserved without scratches, wear, or discoloration. A penny that still carries its original luster as though it just left the mint yesterday can command astonishing prices at auctions. The most valuable 1977 Lincoln cents are those graded at the highest levels by professional grading services, such as PCGS or NGC. A standard circulated penny might only bring a small premium, but a coin graded mint state 67 or above is rare, because it means it has survived nearly 5 decades without the slightest blemish. In the world of numismatics, perfection is priceless. Some 1977 pennies have sold for thousands of dollars, simply because their surfaces remain flawless and their strikes are sharp, making them visually appealing to collectors competing for the best examples. Error coins from 1977 can be even more fascinating. During minting, mistakes sometimes occur, leading to coins with double strikes, off-center designs, or missing details. These errors were never meant to leave the mint, but when they do, they can create some of the most sought-after rarities in coin collecting. A 1977 penny with a dramatic off-center strike, where part of Lincoln's portrait is missing, or one with doubling in the inscriptions, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. It's these kinds of coins that turn pocket change into fortune. One of the reasons people continue to be captivated by the Lincoln cent is its place in everyday life. For decades, the penny has been the most common coin in circulation in the United States, and millions of people handle them daily. Yet within this sea of copper lies the possibility of discovery. Imagine the thrill of finding a coin that the mint never intended to release, or a perfectly preserved example hidden away in a roll of pennies for generations. This sense of treasure hunting is what drives collectors to search tirelessly, knowing that the next big discovery could be sitting quietly in an overlooked coin jar. The 1977 penny also carries historical weight. It was minted during a time of transition in the United States, an era marked by economic challenges, inflation, and shifting political landscape. The coin's copper composition, 95% copper and 5% zinc, was soon to change, as the rising price of copper made pennies more expensive to produce than their face value. By 1982, the mint shifted to a primarily zinc composition, making the pre-1982 pennies, including those from 1977, more desirable for their metal content as well as their nostalgia. Collectors often distinguish between the older copper coins and the newer zinc ones, adding further significance to coins like the 1977 Lincoln cent. While most 1977 pennies may only be worth a cent, the pursuit of the rare ones is where the story becomes exciting. At major coin auctions, bidders often compete for the finest known examples, driving prices into astonishing territory. For instance, a 1977 Lincoln cent, graded MS-67 or higher, can sell for thousands of dollars, and certain proof coins with perfect mirror-like finishes have been valued in the same range. To collectors, owning such a coin is not just about its monetary value but also about holding a piece of American history in pristine form. It's like owning a time capsule from 1977 untouched by decades of circulation. The dream of finding $1 million penny may sound far-fetched, but it isn't impossible in the world of numismatics. Consider the stories of coins once thought to be ordinary, later discovered to have rare characteristics that made them incredibly valuable. A small die variation, an overlooked doubling, or an unusual minting mistake could turn a seemingly common coin into a once-in-a-lifetime find. The 1977 penny is no exception. For collectors and treasure hunters, the question is not whether such a discovery exists, but when and where it will surface. For anyone looking to uncover the value of their 1977 penny, the first step is to examine the coin carefully. Look for mint marks, check its condition under good lighting, and note any unusual features. If the coin appears uncirculated, brilliant, or contains a striking error, it may be worth submitting to a grading service for authentication. This process can unlock its true market value and place it among the ranks of rare and valuable coins. Even for coins that do not reach astronomical prices, The satisfaction of finding something special is a reward in itself. Coin collecting is more than just the pursuit of wealth. It's about the stories behind each piece. The 1977 Lincoln Cent tells a story of America in the late 20th century, of the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, and of the artistry and precision of the U.S. Mint. To some it is simply a cent. To others it represents history, craftsmanship, and the excitement of possibility. And for a lucky few, it could very well represent a life-changing fortune. The world of numismatics thrives on these possibilities, drawing enthusiasts from around the globe, who share the same passion for discovery. Each coin is a mystery waiting to be solved, and each year-end minting holds its secret. The 1977 penny, with its hidden treasures and potential for extraordinary value, reminds us that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can hold the greatest surprises. So the next time you come across a penny, take a moment to look close. That little coin might not just be spare change, it might be the key to unlocking a hidden fortune. The 1977 Lincoln 1-cent coin proves that greatness can be found in the smallest of places, and that $1 million treasure might just be sitting in your pocket right now.
Imagine holding a simple penny in your hand, a coin so small and overlooked that most people wouldn't think twice about it. Now imagine that very penny being worth not just a few cents, not just a few dollars, but potentially thousands or even millions under the right conditions. This is the astonishing truth behind certain Lincoln 1981 1-cent coins, a story of rarity, minting errors, and historical significance that can transform a common coin into a treasure chest of unimaginable value. Collectors across the world search tirelessly for these rare finds, and the 1981 Lincoln penny stands as one of those coins that in certain variations can turn ordinary people into unexpected millionaires. The 1981 Lincoln cent represents the end of an era in American coinage. For decades, pennies were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving them a distinct weight, feel, and sound when struck against another coin. But by the early 1980s, rising copper prices made it too expensive for the U.S. Mint to continue producing coins this way. In fact, by 1981, the metal content of a penny was already worth nearly as much as the coin's face value, making it impractical to keep minting copper cents. The Mint's solution was drastic yet practical: switch from copper to a primarily zinc composition. By 1982, pennies were no longer copper-heavy. Instead, they were 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating. This monumental change makes 1981 one of the final years collectors can find full copper Lincoln cents. That fact alone makes them historically important, but certain rare variations of the 1981 penny can skyrocket their worth into the thousands or more. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1981 Lincoln penny is the different mint marks and die variations. Coins were struck at multiple locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The pennies minted in San Francisco carry the S mark and were produced as proofs, meaning they were struck with specially polished dies to create mirror-like finishes. Within those proof coins, however, lies one of the most valuable varieties in numismatics, the 1981's Type 2 proof Lincoln cent. To the untrained eye, it looks like any other shiny penny, but experts know the secret lies in the S mint mark. The Type 1 version of the proof penny has a blurry, mushy-looking S, while the Type 2 proof coin has a crisp, clear S design. That tiny difference creates massive value separation. A 1981's Type 2 proof Lincoln cent in perfect condition can fetch thousands of dollars at auction, and in some cases collectors have paid staggering sums for flawless examples graded at the highest levels. But the surprises do not end there. Among circulation strikes, both from the Philadelphia and Denver mints, unusual errors occurred that drastically boost a coin's worth. Double die obverse coins, where Lincoln's profile, lettering, or the date appears doubled due to a striking error, are among the most desirable. Such doubling creates a distinctive and highly collectible variation. Similarly, off-center strikes, where the design is shifted dramatically from its intended placement, can turn a regular penny into a rare collectible. Even more thrilling are transitional errors. Because 1982 marked the year when the mint officially switched from copper to zinc composition, a small number of experimental or transitional strikes may have slipped through in 1981, making them extremely rare. If a coin collector or metal analysis revealed a 1981 penny with zinc content instead of the traditional copper, it could easily be a one-of-a-kind rarity worth immense sums of money. Condition also plays a crucial role in determining the true value of a 1981 Lincoln cent. Most pennies circulated heavily, being passed hand-to-hand through wallets, pockets, and change jars, picking up scratches, wear, and damage.
However, the few examples preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as MS67 or higher are worth exponentially more. A coin that may seem common in average condition can suddenly be worth hundreds or thousands if it's one of the finest surviving examples. Collectors value perfection, and with 1981 pennies being over 40 years old now, finding one without blemishes is increasingly rare. Beyond rarity and condition, the 1981 penny holds cultural and historical significance. Abraham Lincoln has graced the U.S. 1-cent coin since 1909, making it the longest-running design in American coinage history. The 1981 version continues this tradition, showing Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Each coin acts as a small piece of American history, reflecting the economic conditions of its time. The fact that 1981 coins mark the last full year of copper pennies adds a symbolic weight, reminding us of how shifting economies directly shape even the smallest objects in our daily lives. Auction records provide dramatic evidence of the potential hidden within these coins. Collectors have paid staggering sums for the rarest 1981 Lincoln cents, particularly the Type II proofs. Coins with perfect grades, showing flawless surfaces, deep mirrors, and sharp strikes, can cross into five-figure territory. In the coin world, rarity and demand drive price. The fewer examples available, and the higher the demand among passionate collectors, the more shocking the price tags become. It's not uncommon to see bidding wars erupt over coins that, to the untrained eye, look indistinguishable from the pennies rattling around in a desk drawer. For those wondering if their change jar at home could contain a hidden fortune, the answer is yes, it's possible. The thrill of coin collecting lies in the chance that a seemingly ordinary penny could be worth a life-changing sum. Careful examination is key, looking closely at mint marks, studying the S design on proof coins, weighing pennies to determine their composition, and checking for doubling or striking errors can reveal whether a coin is truly special. Many collectors use magnification tools, reference guides, and grading services to authenticate their finds. The effort often pays off in incredible discoveries. The 1981 Lincoln penny teaches us a powerful lesson about value. It shows that worth is not always about size or appearance. Something as small as a cent can hold immense power if it carries history, rarity, and uniqueness. Millions of people walk past pennies every day, dismissing them as trivial, yet within those coins may lie opportunities that could rewrite someone's financial future. This is why coin collecting is not just a hobby, it's a treasure hunt that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Think of the millions of 1981 pennies still in circulation today, buried in piggy banks, jars, or forgotten drawers. Among them, some may be incredibly valuable, waiting for the right person to recognize their significance. For the dedicated collector or the lucky individual who happens to stumble across one, that moment of discovery can feel like striking gold. It's a reminder that fortune often hides in plain sight, disguised as something we overlook every day. So the next time you hold a 1981 Lincoln penny, don't just see a coin worth 1 cent. See the story of America's economic change, the artistry of its design, and the potential for incredible rarity. With its ties to history, its minting errors, its proof variations, and its role as the last full year of copper cents, the 1981 penny is far more than spare change. For some, it has already unlocked fortunes worth thousands, and for a lucky few, it could very well become the coin that's valued at millions.
Imagine holding a simple 1996 Lincoln 1-cent coin in your hand, a coin that most people would overlook and toss into a jar. Yet this tiny piece of copper could secretly be worth thousands or even millions of dollars if you knew what to look for. At first glance, it looks ordinary, but hidden in the details are errors, varieties, and minting anomalies that could transform a single penny into a life-changing fortune. Collectors across the world are constantly hunting for these small treasures, and some lucky individuals have discovered that the most unassuming coin in their pocket change was actually a jackpot waiting to be cashed in. The 1996 Lincoln cent belongs to the iconic Lincoln Memorial series, which was minted from 1959 through 2008. This series is special, not just because it honors Abraham Lincoln, but also because it captures American history in the smallest of forms. By 1996, the coin had been in circulation for decades, and millions upon millions were struck. Yet despite their abundance, rare varieties and errors slipped through the cracks, becoming highly sought after by numismatists. These coins may look like any other penny you'd spend at the store, but in reality, they can carry staggering value. To understand why certain 1996 Lincoln pennies can be worth so much, it's important to look at how these coins were made. The U.S. Mint struck billions of pennies in 1996, with production split between Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark,
Denver coins carry the D mint mark, and San Francisco coins carry the S mint mark, usually struck as proofs. Proof coins were specially made for collectors, featuring sharp strikes and mirror-like finishes. But here's the catch. When mistakes happen during production, such as doubling of the design or striking errors, they created extremely rare varieties. These are the coins that can sell for tens of thousands or even reach into the $1,000,000 range in extraordinary cases. One of the most famous errors found in 1996 pennies is the double die. A double die occurs when the design is imprinted onto the die more than once, but in slightly different positions, leading to a noticeable doubling effect on the coin itself. On 1996 pennies, doubling can sometimes be seen in the date, the letters of liberty, or the phrase, "In God we trust." Collectors who spot these double die errors know they've found something special. Depending on the strength and clarity of the doubling, such a coin can fetch massive premiums, far beyond face value. Another important factor in determining the value of a 1996 Lincoln cent is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless coin. Most 1996 pennies in circulation are worn and have scratches or dings from use. However, if you find one that was never spent, what collectors call a mint state (MS) coin, it could be worth a lot more. For example, a 1996 penny graded MS-68 by a professional grading service can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Extremely high-grade coins are rare because so many pennies were used daily and quickly worn down. There are also unique varieties of 1996 pennies struck on the wrong metal planchets. For instance, some coins were accidentally struck on dime planchets or foreign coin planchets, making them dramatically different in size, weight, or appearance. These minting mistakes are extremely rare, and collectors will pay huge sums for them because they represent one-of-a-kind anomalies in the minting process. In fact, a single wrong planchet 1996 penny could potentially sell for thousands or more, depending on how dramatic the error is. Proof coins from San Francisco are another area where big value can be found. These coins were specially packaged and sold to collectors, so they were not meant for circulation. However, some proof coins ended up in circulation, and when they are discovered, their sharp designs and mirror-like surfaces stand out immediately. If you happen to find a 1996 S-proof penny in pristine condition, especially one with a cameo or deep cameo contrast, its value could be far beyond face value. Errors on proof coins are even more valuable, since they are much rarer and highly prized by specialists. But perhaps the most exciting thing about the 1996 Lincoln cent is that anyone could find one. Unlike gold or silver coins, which are less likely to show up in your change, pennies are everywhere. You might have one sitting in a jar at home, buried at the bottom of your wallet, or tucked away in an old box of childhood savings. Every time you pick up a penny, you're essentially holding a lottery ticket. Most of them are worth only 1 cent, but the rare ones can turn into incredible fortune. Stories of collectors finding rare double dies or pristine mint state coins in everyday circulation continue to fuel the excitement of coin hunting. It's also important to mention that coin values are constantly changing. As more collectors enter the hobby and demand increases, prices for certain coins climb. A 1996 penny that sold for hundreds a decade ago might now bring in thousands today. In rare cases, exceptional error coins or unique high-grade examples have reached astonishing prices at auction, creating headlines in the coin collecting world. This is where the $1,000,000 penny stories come from, because when demand collides with rarity, the sky is the limit. The journey of the Lincoln cent itself adds depth to the value of the 1996 penny. Abraham Lincoln was the first president to be featured on a circulating U.S. coin, starting with the cent in 1909. His portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, became an enduring symbol of American history. By 1996, the Lincoln Memorial reverse design had already been in use for nearly 4 decades, and collectors were beginning to recognize its historical importance as the century drew to a close. This gives the 1996 penny not only financial value but also cultural significance. Another aspect that makes the 1996 penny intriguing is the sheer number of varieties created unintentionally during mass production. Misaligned dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchettes are all examples of errors that can elevate the value of an ordinary-looking coin. Some of these errors are dramatic, such as a penny missing part of its design or struck way off-center, while others are more subtle, requiring a magnifying glass to detect. Either way, error coins tell the story of imperfection in the minting process, which ironically makes them more desirable than the flawless billions produced correctly. For collectors, the thrill is not only about the money, but also about the hunt. Searching through rolls of pennies from the bank, checking pocket change, or sorting through old coin jars at home can feel like a treasure hunt. The 1996 penny is one of those coins that keeps people searching, knowing that even though billions were made, only a tiny fraction carry the unique traits that make them worth serious money. The dream of finding $1 million penny is alive in every roll searched and every jar emptied. So, what should you do if you come across a 1996 Lincoln cent? First, examine it carefully. Look at the date, the lettering, and the overall condition. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling or unusual features. Weigh the coin to see if it matches the standard penny weight, because an incorrect weight could indicate a wrong planchet. If the coin looks pristine, consider having it graded by a professional service, since a certified high grade can dramatically increase its value. And if you find a dramatic error, consult with coin experts or auction houses, as such coins can generate major interest. In the end, the 1996 Lincoln penny proves that value is not always obvious. What seems like just another coin in circulation could in fact be a hidden treasure worth more than most people can imagine. For those who take the time to look closely, the rewards can be life-changing. Millions of these coins are still out there, quietly passing from hand to hand, waiting for someone with sharp eyes and a little patience to discover their true worth. That's the beauty of coin collecting. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, turning a humble cent into a symbol of luck, history, and wealth.